And we're live. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Analytic Alchemist, and we are back again. Um, Last minute, but we have a very important subject to touch on tonight. Um, I'm with Seal, my I guess my producer, um, and I also have joining us tonight Ragnar Fox. Um, and he's going to be the center of attention for tonight's show because he has a lot to talk about, a lot of important things to go over about essentially what pedophilia, trafficking, and a whole bunch of other evil shit. So why don't you, Ragnar, go ahead and give us the lowdown?
Uh, Geez, where do I begin? Okay, so you guys found me after I put up a video on my main page, iKnosis, the other day, and it was called "Call to Action for Doreen, Vincent, and My Last Will" is the tag on that. And I'm doing a number of things in that video. Number one, first and foremost, is uh, justice for Doreen Vincent. That's the focus in the video. But the focus in that video is also being used to expose a much bigger issue right now that either people are unaware about or are aware of and are just too afraid to speak about something. So that message in the back half of the video, and we could come to that at another point if you want, but why don't we start off with Doreen and Teen Challenge? How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So all right. So earlier in the year, I um I had to go to this place, Teen Challenge in Connecticut, which is it's advertised as like a Christian drug rehab. You know, um, I've been going through my own, just a lot of, heart, just personal crazy shit over the last few years, and you know what I mean. I was just trying to get some. Anyway, that's aside from the point. But anyway, um, so I had an experience there, and after a few months, I just had I work as an intuitive, and empathically I was just getting all kinds of bad shit from this place, and something wasn't sitting well with me. And I left, and I wound up doing this video on YouTube that was it was called 10 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Go to Teen Challenge. And I listed a bunch of these things, and it got like 3,000 views. And there were a lot of people stepping forward who had horrible abuse experiences in different parts of the country and parts of the world with the Teen Challenge program. And they were stepping up in the comments section and saying stuff about this. And the Connecticut staff were just maliciously attacking me in the comments section. Obviously, I struck a nerve. But anyway, months went by, and I just kept getting, notifications and nasty messages, and the real people weren't paying attention. So I just kind of got sick of it, and I took the video down, and I shut that channel off, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to move on with my life now. Nobody gives a shit. And then a few days after I took that video down, a woman reached out to the iKnosis page, and the message was just, "Thought you were dead." And I was like, if you thought I was dead, what the hell are you talking about? Who is this? What do you want? And she said, I saw that video on YouTube, and I tried reaching out to Teen Challenge Connecticut, and they said that you overdosed and died. Right? And I was like, no, that's, I mean, some serious defamation of character right there. And that was the part in the video, you guys said you were going to link it, where I was like, well, I'm dead. I'm very much alive. And obviously, I was telling the truth. You know what I mean? Um, so let's see. Where should we take on from here? Talk about the story with Doreen and Mark, or some of the other things that I witnessed in the facility, or what do you want to talk about?
Why don't Eric? Why don't you play the video? That's what made us notice what was going on.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
all
see.
right. You're wrong.
Yeah, I'll see if I can do that. Uh, one moment. Well, I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, while you're figuring that out, give everybody like a brief. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the woman was part of a. She's been running a podcast for a very long time. And the podcast was about the cold case files. They actually did a story on this and that little girl, and they apparently had this guy marked like dead ass, like cold, like guilty, and he got off on some like weird ass technicality, and he's been hiding out at Teen Challenge Connecticut under disguise as like this enlightened sage pastor, like mentoring students and everything. And it's just disgusting. You spend 5 minutes in front of this guy like having a cup of coffee, and you can see like, a snake tongue come out of his mouth, you know what I mean? So all these women and all these mothers and this girl's family right now have been recently apparently trying to get this case opened back up, to get this son of a bitch thrown in prison for what he did to this little girl. And they haven't found her body to this day. She's still gone. This family's never had any closure. So yeah.
Eric is telling me that he can't play any videos. Right now, I don't think that we've mastered that yet on this exact thing, but
yeah, we'll still link it though.
Absolutely.
We'll share that on every platform possible. So, okay, where would you like to take things from here? This is all you. You can I consider this your show.
I can mention some of the other things I witnessed while I was at this place that was brought up in the YouTube video that'll give you an idea, like aside from this guy, it's the kind of, shady shit that goes on at this, location. The biggest irritation, I can't even find a word really to describe this, is one morning, one Sunday, we were on our way to like this church to do a choir thing, and we show up to these places and we share some stories and we would sing some songs and collect donations and all that, you know what I mean? And on the way there, a couple of us had to stop and take a piss break at this Cumberland Farms. All right. And we pull into this parking lot and we're, stumbling out of the van. And all of a sudden, one of these guys says, "Grab him." And I don't know what he's talking about. And I look over in the parking lot, and there's a half naked young. I'm on the air. I want to be correct. African American little boy. You know what I mean? It's in the middle of the winter. He's in pajamas, and he's just strolling across the parking lot. And this is like a bad city type area. So my daddy instincts kick in. I sprint across the parking lot, and I kneel in front of this little boy, and I'm trying to ask him, "What's going on? What are you doing here? What happened?" And he won't answer me. And then I pick him up, and this kid wraps his arms around me. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't nervous at all. He just welcomed me. And I went into the gas station, and I said, I got a problem here. There's this kid outside. You know what I mean? I need to get help. And I have them call the police, right? And so I'm outside, whatever. I'm holding this kid, and the assistant director of this program that is best friends with Mark Vincent is this guy sees me standing there with a baby in my arms, and he doesn't say. And there's a supervisor there too, and I'm standing there with a baby in my arms that could have very well, somebody could have just broken into his house and killed his parents, or his dad could have gotten drunk and beaten his mother to death or something. This fat fuck was just standing against the wall the whole time, just cramming a Slim Jim into his mouth, did not say a word because he was too concerned with getting to the church to collect donations. I wound up having to give that child up to somebody who said they were a neighbor and they knew the boy. I didn't get to give a statement, didn't get to talk to the cops, do not know to this day what happened to that boy. And I had a dream about it the night before. That was a creepy thing. And I shared it with a bunch of guys the next day. And it kind of like freaks some people out, but that's just aside from that point. Anyway. But,
did you try to locate the child?
I think one of the other supervisors told me, I think it was like a week or so later, that he'd contact law enforcement, looked into it. I don't know. I really didn't know what to make of it. He said something that there weren't any calls that anything happened to the kid. You know what I mean? But it wasn't really. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
What police department was that? Let's just call them out.
It was in Connecticut somewhere. You know, I can't remember the city. I'm sorry. It was so long ago.
What a shame. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's an epidemic in this country. It's going to kill this country if somebody doesn't do something.
Yeah, no. And that's, you know, before we started recording, I mentioned that we have, I suppose I should just come out and just fucking say it bluntly. You know, we have a serious fucking problem with child trafficking and pedophilia in this country. And those are just words. What's really going on underground with these children and the real people who are running our fucking country. It's if the average American knew what was going on at this moment while we're recording to thousands of children, they would probably vomit and have a psychotic episode. It's that bad.
It's I just really have to say this. If it wasn't for social media, I don't think near as many people would know. I don't think enough people do know. And I have to give a big shout out to Luke Rudkowski, Jeff Barrick, and Joby Weeks for going to Epstein's Island. Did you see that? They went and stormed the island. I think it was like, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I mean, they could still go to jail for trespassing. I mean, they took as much footage as they could. They were running. There were golf carts. I mean, it was a situation. But they went in there, you know, knowing, I mean, absolutely knowing that they would be incarcerated. And good for them. And then right at the same time, the Epstein didn't kill himself came up. So social media does make a difference. The internet, it makes a difference.
Hashtag I didn't kill myself if something happens. Just putting that out there.
Yes.
There you go.
And you notice, if anyone's monitoring the kind of web that we do, like the entire world, like how many countries right now are like literally storming the gates and taking their country back, and we're the only people like just not doing a fucking thing about it right now, and we probably got the biggest problems.
Actually, though, if you'll think about it, like I'm like Spock. I'm not as bad as Rademacher, but I am like Spock. If you'll really think about it, all these other countries that have lost all of their rights and shit, they're looking to us, the people that are not doing anything. Because guess what? We're the last holdout. We're the ones. If anything gets done, it's going to be America. We've got one last chance, and this is it. You know, think about it like that.
What do you in terms of like what's going on to these children who disappear, who get trafficked? What do you think is happening to them?
That's a horrid question.
You really want me to go there?
It's a bad thing.
Yeah. Let's may as well. I mean, because it goes up. Go ahead.
No. So, all right. So on the main page, you know, where we've spent a lot of our time in the past talking about gnosis. It's like esoteric psychology, esoteric law. This stuff is going to make sense in a couple of minutes. Just trust me here. what we're wrapped up in right now is this. There's so many different directions you can go in this. At at some point, like thousands of years ago, I think a lot of people call this, the people who are running the country, like a Babylonian death cult. Basically, at some point a very long time ago, there's a really really cool website called Gemstone University. This guy's name is Kenneth Scott. And he's a lawyer and he teaches esoteric law. And he teaches people how to gain their sovereignty back from the United States government. And he unravels he calls it the Babylonian debt matrix. Okay. And he sells a course for like $400 where he teaches you like how to do this. And I want to offer this in my program, Apex Roughnecks down the road. But anyway, so yeah, at some point he explains that like there were like 4 or 5 civilizations before us, and then at some point after like the fall of Atlantis, and this is in historical records, actually, it's like fascinating. At some point, maybe it was the Freemasons, who knows? But it's at some point this Illuminati group or whatever just started getting their dirty little hands into like every little thing, like playing a long drawn out game of chess that's been going on for a very long time. And this is like what we got ourselves like wrapped up in right now. And these people now, these people that we're referring to that are involved in this trafficking stuff. And this is a reason why I think David Icke says like close to 1 million children are like going and missing a year in this country, and like they're not even being documented. The CPS system, family court supports it.
The foster system is a big problem.
Yeah. What do you call it? And I also saw something recently where they were like, they had a picture of like every like underground cave and tunnel system in the country. And then there's like big, like there's like shaded areas where all the like the missing children are, and it's all over these. Anyway, so these people, these people are basically involved in Satan worship. That's how fucking crazy it gets. And there is so much documented evidence. It's like, it's hidden in plain sight if you know where to look. Satanic symbolism is everywhere in our society right now. In Hollywood, like it's always, when you see these motherfuckers throwing up this shit or doing this or doing that shit, it's all Satanism. Anton LaVey said the Church of Hollywood was created for indoctrination into Satanism. Even if you go to the gas station and you get yourself like an energy drink, like a Monster, the 3 little hashtags, that's Hebrew for 666. And you look at the O in the Monster, you'll see a cross, and you turn it upside down to drink it, and you got the Antichrist symbol. It's fucking everywhere. Now these people, I'm sorry, you look like you want to interject.
I do. I want to ask you something. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but have you heard of the adrenochrome? The adrenochrome. It's where the politicians.
Yes, that's what's going on.
Yes,
that's what's going on. These kids are being taken and sold into the black market, and what they do with these little children. Now, in Gnosis, we say it's taught that, like, when a baby is born, and you see that they glow, like how cute and adorable they are. You just want to, just squeeze them. They're so adorable, right? We say in Gnosis that represents, it's because they're in their pure form. We call it the essence, the soul. That's when they're pure, And what they do in these ceremonies when they take these children is if you ever seen the movie Hostel, it's like a snuff film with babies. They torture and rape these children, and when enough adrenaline, these chemicals, neurotransmitters, whatever, where it's flooding the body, okay, they'll basically at this peak state, they'll empty the arteries, and all the blood will pour out, and they'll drink it like while it's fresh, and they
Yes.
basically get a psychedelic high off of it. You saw it in that movie, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, I saw that movie. I didn't catch that, but
Adrenochrome, yeah, that's where they got it from.
wow. Well, I know that everybody has to say
Everything in plain sight. Everything in plain sight. They have to, because we as divine beings project a virtual reality outside of us, the matrix around us. So we have to keep agreeing to everything that's going on. And Kenneth Scott at Gemstone talks about this a lot. For example, like your social security card and your birth certificate, for example, you know, the capital letters on it, like with, I'm not going to say my name, but you know, it says it has capital letters on your social security card. Well, that person actually isn't real. That person on that card is, Kenneth goes into this. It's actually considered a bondage surety to a bankrupt corporation that is America. That person on your social is like a bankrupt franchise to a bankrupt corporation, the Corporation of America that was established in 1873. And it's basically, it's going to shit. Connects us to Rome, basically, and the entire thing is fucking crumbling right now. That's what you're seeing all around the world. The entire system is getting exposed. The trafficking is getting exposed. I'm sure insiders are turning on each other like rats on a sinking ship.
Well, we can
And
see here.
I'm sorry?
I said we can see that here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, deep state's going down. They're like running like roaches, baby.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it, and a lot of people don't understand right now, but when the smoke clears in a few years, these people are going to realize that what we're doing right now, we were the ones that were really fighting this battle.
Thank you. And
At some point, this shit has to go public, and you know what I mean? It's some.
it doesn't matter who does it, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's ultimately, that's what I'm trying to start. But you know, the problem is Americans are so horribly programmed in the Matrix, and they've been this MK Ultra shit through the televisions and the radios have been going on through so many years since people are babies, and people are just beat down and afraid and traumatized, and people just don't have the will to fight anymore. So honestly, that video, I was hoping to inspire people to just, at some point, you need to get the balls to stand up, and you might have to physically get on foot and like go to the Federal Reserve and say, you know what? We're not playing the fucking game anymore. We're done. You're fucking out. You're done. We want our fucking children back. We want our fucking country back. We're fucking done. We've had it. We're not sitting on our asses anymore.
Well, I gotta tell you, I saw that video for like I just clicked on it, and I was like, you had me at hello. It had me so good that I wanted to go find you, you know. And I don't do that all the time, but I knew that I wanted to meet you and understand.
No, you could have me on the show as much as you want. I'd be honored to keep talking with you. Thank you very much for this.
Good deal. Let's keep on.
Yeah, no problem. So what you were talking about earlier, concerning the Freemasons and the Illuminati, I know exactly what you're talking about. You got Adam Weishaupt, who was the founder of the Order of the Illuminati. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not. And this is all on historical record. You know, these things do exist. These people exist. These secret societies exist. And if only people knew just how evil and deranged these people are. Those even the words I'm using right now to describe them, they're just way too nice of words to describe these people and what they're into. It's all over the place. Yeah, Satanism. That's pretty much what it is.
Not big for it.
What else? You got me here. You're picking my brain. What else you want to talk about?
What else do you want to talk about? Who's the guest?
So all right. So I mean, we got the video out there. We got the exposure for Doreen, and I know I got people looking into that situation right now. So I'll leave that alone. Um, I don't know. Maybe the All right, maybe I don't know. Maybe what me and my guys are looking to do in the future with the Apex Roughnecks program, like I said, about coaching people in like esoteric psychology and law, and but ultimately, like the biggest long term goal that I want to get out of this is I'm trying to take a bit of this anonymous movement and put a public face on it. Like I'm saying, like going public and showing Americans like what's you know what I mean. And I really want to build a team that's going to specialize in hunting down these traffickers and bringing them to justice. I was even talking to one of my guys about like starting a biker club today called Apex Roughnecks, like a one percenter club with jackets and Harleys and everything that just rallies and drives around the country. Yeah, like we got plans to turn this into like a really cool fucking thing. You know what I mean?
I feel so uplifted by this because Anon has become so fragmented since Antifa, and even before that, it's like all the original Anons have fell to the side, and all these leftist kids are coming in, and they're ruining the name Anonymous when Anonymous did really good work. And it's really uplifting to me to see somebody coming back and trying, because Anonymous is a big thing. It's a big word. It's a big thing. You guys have so much power, but you got to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people don't believe. There's just so much crap. It's just so many of these little, I want to call them poltergeists, running around just causing problems, just picking and picking and picking, when there are bigger issues at hand, and people like you can make it happen. Never doubt it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I know there's a lot of people out there I know like walking around with their Guy Fawkes masks and putting up, profile pictures and stuff and using the name and everything because, it's like an ego thing. You know what I mean? But, what this really comes down to is if you think about these people, these Illuminati people, the extent, the things that they're willing to do to children with no conscience, the mass deception, performing experiments on their own people, carpet bombing fucking Gaza. It's just these people have no fucking souls. So if you think you're just going to put on a pretty mask and stand somewhere with a sign and just go, I'm anonymous, dude, it's bullshit. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to call a bunch of people out right now. It's fucking bullshit. If you're not willing to stand in front of these motherfuckers and say you're either going to put a bullet in my fucking head or you're going to give us what we want, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to fucking change. Let's be honest. We're dealing with bad people. We're dealing with bad fucking people, and we need badass motherfuckers who are really willing to do the right thing for these kids.
Yeah, I know a few that I stick with, but only a few.
I'm sure I'm not making friends right now saying shit like that on the internet, but
what?
It's got to be said.
You know what, though? You'll make the right friends.
Yeah, I hope so.
You will.
Yes, I mean that's I don't know. That's really all I can leave off on right now. That's that's a program that we're looking into over long term. Long term, I'm looking to teach people in gnosis. Like we try to get people to get to self realization, awaken to their own I'll call it godhood, whatever, kind of like the ancient way of things. Overcome addiction, trauma. We're going to take the gemstone course. We're going to look into getting people their sovereignty, maybe build like an eco village at some point that's on sovereign land. You know what I mean? Self-sustainable, our own fruits and vegetables and stuff. And, just kind of doing our own way of things. Have the team that monitors the dark web. And, we look into people who are hurting children and we turn them over. And there's all kinds of big things I'm working on in the future, and I need the right guys to reach out to the page, to this network, and say, I want to get involved, I want to help. It's Doreen. Doreen's soul could be the catalyst that that saves a million more kids. You know what I mean? I want to throw a party for her at some point this year too. I want to get like an anonymous party together and just celebrate her memory. Go on stage, put like a big picture of her up, and then just put an anonymous mask on her picture, and then just do like a tribute for her. You know what I mean? Have some merch made up, like T-shirts with our masks and justice for Doreen. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got at that point. If you guys got anything else.
Well, we have each other on Facebook, so if you need any help at all, I would be happy to help you.
Thank you very much. Guys, I really appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
Oh, you're very.
Yeah, no problem. This platform is all yours, man. Whenever you want to come back on and talk about whatever, feel free. I'll gladly have you. You can go ahead and send me any links you want me to promote, and I'll spam them for you all over the place.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm up, guys. Honestly, that video is getting real strong support really fast. Really fast. So I honestly just intuitively in the air, I feel like we started something here, and I want to keep the momentum going, and I want to work hard, and I want to make it snowball something really important. You know what I mean?
Well,
Absolutely.
Eric will get this YouTube ASAP, and we'll send it to you, and then we'll put it out.
All right.
Thank you for the effort.
It was an honor. It really was, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Okay. I just X out of this now.
Yes, sir. Good night.
All right.
Yep.
Good night,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on, man.
Blessings.
Oh.